Now, an interesting story has come up about the formerly known Yummy Mummy, who is now going by the name Murigi Munyi. And the story goes she has been roasted all over Instagram and social media simply because she said something about menstruational cups. Now, the story is quite simple to me. I feel like this is a complete attack, but let's just break it down as it is, right? So Yummy Mummy, what was her former name, now currently going as Murigi Munyi, has been causing fire on the social media websites wwws. This is because she said, because I can't really bend, I won't be able to use tampons. I am going to use pads like a cave woman. Yuck. And then everybody went crazy. They're like, first of all, she doesn't have to describe pads like that, like there's something bad. Akwe akijua Mungu anaweza kosa kufanya apone. Not cool. Another person went ahead and said, and you hear her saying that she supports women, yet she is the same person calling them names. And many other comments, including one by a woman called Pauline Kamau. She says she simply has no idea about toxic shock syndrome. She simply doesn't know what pads are recommended when you have when the flow is light, because a tampon will always suck everything up, and then it starts to interfere with your flora and fauna. So what a waste. Now, this is on set because of the whole fact that she's gone through plastic surgery. Now, last week, she went on an Instagram story reveal by saying that she's going to undergo plastic surgery, which she has. And this week, she's now kind of keeping us up to date with what's happening with that particular regard. And apparently, it was this week that she received anti-flow. Anti-flow came into the building. And unfortunately, because of the surgery that she went through, she is unable to bend. Let's just start from there. Point number 2, she has been talking about this transition that she's had from sanitary towels and tampons completely moving to menstrual cups. Because first of all, it's a brand that she is advertising. And number 2, she just feels more comfortable using menstrual cups. And therefore, she made the transition. And so the fact that she mentioned that she is moving from that to the other thing, and the fact that now she can't do it because of obviously the stitches, the pain, you can't start bending when you just had surgery. It's impossible. So you can't start putting, cups inside you. Therefore, you go for the Resolve, which would be menstrual sanitary pads, right? And finally, because of that, she then posted saying that she cannot go back to that. In my head, it just feels like a quippy thing to say. Like, why are we roasting Murigi Munyi because of saying something as small and simple as cave woman?
Yeah.
In her words, it is a transition. And she actually clarifies a little bit more by saying that, I don't understand why people, I have seen people trying to twist my words and get mad because I said I feel like a cave woman when I use pads. I have not called you a cave woman. It is a sarcastic expression when you are forced to use something that has evolved. For example, I am just using her words and explaining them as I understand them. For example, if you use a katululu, and you have the option of a nice smartphone, for example, it may feel like when you've used your smartphone for a while and then you go back to using your katululu, you're like, baby, these buttons are being pressed. And it's not even funny, baby. Think about it. Have you ever been robbed and then you've had to go back to using a katululu? Not that it's a bad thing. It's just, so you have to readapt. Like, where is the space bar? Where do I have to hash and key so that I can get these, characters that I'm trying to look for and I just can't find them? That is the exact thing. It just feels like, okay, I'd been somewhere and now I've gone back somewhere else. So I understand her sentiment of saying that there has been an evolution. And purposely, for all purposes and intents, let me be clear, I do not use menstrual cups. Why? I've never tried it. I've never felt the need to. I just use what I use because that's just how I feel. And it is 100% a thing that we need to have a conversation about, because let's not forget that there's so many kids back in places which are adversely affected by poverty that don't have access to sanitary towels, that we have to actually now make mchangos. You've seen these places where they try and make a contribution to send a sanitary towel to a young girl in school and all of that. So we're not trying to personally, I'm not trying to play favorites or play I understand, I am evolved. I'm just trying to explain that if you have the options for many, many other varieties, and this is the variety that is working for you, why not use it? Why would you want to go back and start, going a different route that is no longer favoring you as a person? So honestly, I feel like you guys are just roasting her for no apparent reason. She's allowed to do whatever she wants to do, and honestly, she just had surgery. Can't you just let the woman be? Ah?
Here's the thing though, yeah, I understand, I sympathize. Yeah, it's your life, you're an influencer. But she overshares. She overshares a lot. And she gives us too much information that we do not need. She's always exposing something about her marriage, about something, Nini. And now we have to listen to you healing from your lipo and having menstrual. It's all very disgusting, if I'm being honest. And here's the thing, I understand you want people to relate to you. But how many people can relate to liposuction surgery in Kenya? How many people can relate to not being able to bend to put on, a sanitary pad? I just think it's just too much TMI, nini. And also suction cups.
Yeah.
I have nothing against it. I know people like,
Menstrual
it's good for the
cups.
environment,
Yeah.
nini. But is it good for my environment? Because I cannot picture myself bending over and just... And how many times do I have to see the sight of blood? I think we're not cave women as people who use sanitary towels, because, if that's what being a cave woman is, then I am a proud cave woman.
But let me ask you this, though. Why is it that you're feeling triggered by someone else making an option for themselves, which is convenient for them? And number two, you're saying she's oversharing. Why are you following her? That's what I keep asking people. If you're feeling that she's overbearingly oversharing, why are you over there then following every single story going... Why? And I understand that point you said about liposuction, because honestly, it is absolutely unrelatable. But the thing is, some women have related. She's even spoken about them, coming into her DMs and talking about their processes and all of that. Yes, it's a bit of a problem for not the masses. It's a problem for a very select few. But still, why are you following her if you don't want to see all these things? That's my question.
Because we're waiting for something to go wrong so you can laugh about it.
Girl, if you have
okay?
more comments on this particular story, please let us know. The number is still 0770-729-366. Are you on this Tory side where you're just like, this girl is oversharing, she just needs to take an L and leave it with her whole surgery situation and her menstruation, we don't want to know? Or are you like me, who's like, why are you following her to begin with? If you're following her, then you must take whatever she gives you, because you're following her for that same thing. Let's move on.